Hi everyone, and welcome to the second day of Stitch Mania. I'm not doing a vlog, so you didn't miss anything from yesterday. Yesterday was just a little crazy, and I just had enough time to get all of my stuff together and do the very first stitch, puny little stitch, for my first day. So my in-laws have left to go to the coast, and they'll be gone for about a week. Going to the coast and then visiting family. And then my husband's at work, so after I get done with this, I'm hoping to get started on my stitching. I already started working on my stack to show you, and then my husband called, and I record on my phone. Oh well. So I'm on here. Oh, my throat hurts. Yes, everyone, shocker, I have another cold, my 5th one. And I just got over one that I caught right at the end of spring break. So sorry if I sound terrible, but I'm just kind of, oh, I tell you what, I don't know what's going on with me this year. 5 colds since September, but oh, what do you do? So yeah, I'm on here to show you my Stitch Mania projects. I know a lot of people have already shown pictures and done Instagram and have had plans for like the last month. I started a week ago making plans. I wasn't going to do it. I'm like, I need a new start, like I need a hole in my head, and or like another cold. But I started watching Flosstube and seeing everybody so excited. I've never done Stitch Mania, and I just did it. I just decided to do it. Hey, I do not want to have to start this thing over again. Zip it. Zip it. The UPS truck just drove by. It's ridiculous. Chihuahuas. So yeah, I decided I was going to go ahead and do this, and I was just going to do it my way. I am not going to have 15 starts, 30 starts, 31 starts. No. I can't do that. That would be way too overwhelming for me with everything else I have going. So what I decided to do, I'm doing 15 days because I have stuff that I work on once a month. I have 2 different projects, and I'm already behind on one, so I can't spend the whole month just doing one project a day. I know there are some people that's going to do 30 starts or 31 starts, and that's great. If that works for you, it just wouldn't work for me with what I have going. That was my clock. That made a weird noise. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a new start, a whip, a new start, and a whip. So I'm going to have a total of 8 new starts and doing 7 whips. So wish me luck. Before I show you all my projects that I have stacked all right here, show them to you again, I want to show you something else that was a gift. My husband's cousin moved, and her husband moved here to Salem. She's been a nurse for years and years and years, and she had an opportunity to get out of the Portland area and the hustle and bustle and get transferred to the hospital here. She's a, I don't know what they call them, lactate specialist. I don't know. I'm just butchering it. You wouldn't know it was mom, because most mothers know what they call them. But she specializes in newborn babies and first-time moms and how to help them with colic and nursing. You know what I'm saying? She's been doing it her whole nursing career. She's got like this special way of helping to burp babies that's foolproof. Nobody else can do it like she can. She's a specialist. I mean, she's really, really good. So anyhow, they just snatched her up over here, and her and her husband wanted to get out of all of that. Salem is such a quiet, calm area compared to there. I was born and raised there. So they had us over for dinner. Very excited to have She was very excited to have her cousin Dave living, us living so close to them. And anyhow, when we're done with dinner and sitting around the table, she's like, "Oh, Fran, you got to see this. I got this at a yard sale." She brought it down and showed it to me. Oh my goodness. I was blown away. I was going to look it up. I can't remember if it's Joan Elliott or Nora Corbett. Can't remember. You'll know when you see it. I've had the pattern on my wish list. And she asked me, she said, "Tell me what you think I paid for it." It's totally framed. And I was like, well, at a yard sale, you probably got it for 20 bucks or something like that. Because people don't know what they have. They don't understand what they have. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it close. I'm like, oh my goodness. I told my husband it's gorgeous. And she goes, "Fran, I paid $5 for this." What? Like I couldn't even comprehend that. She goes, "I know, I had to grab it." She said, "I kind of felt like I stole it for only $5. But she says, I had to take it, and I knew you would appreciate it." And, oh, it was just beautiful. And I said, "Yeah, I know that pattern. I know it." She goes, "I knew you'd know that, recognize that pattern." And so anyhow, so we finished up dinner. Well, they came over this last Sunday for dinner to see their aunt and uncle, my in-laws. And so it's my mother-in-law's niece. And what do you think she had in her hand? She said, "Fran, you need to have this. I know, the moment you saw it, I knew how much you appreciated that. And I want you to have it." I just couldn't believe it. I'm just like, no, you can't. You're seriously going to give this to me? She goes, "Yes, this is a perfect home for it." I couldn't believe it. So I want to share with you what she gave me. It was framed at Michael's. But, yeah, sorry for the glare. But look, it's double matted. The mat is perfect. Hello. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's an older pattern. I think it was framed some time ago because you can see a few little bubbles in there. But it's not as bad as what this lighting is showing. It really isn't. Because when you look at it in person, it's not like that. For some reason it's showing a whole lot of little bumps. But yeah, and here's the frame. It just looks like old, worn wood. You can see my phone. But isn't it beautiful? It's so big. So yeah, showed it was framed at Michael's. So I was just blown away. I kept this in here because I knew I wanted to do a Mania video. But that is going to go up into my bedroom because I have another picture that's more like a painting that's in there of kind of that era. And it's above my bed. And I want to put this across my bed. So, yeah, it's going in my bedroom. It's beautiful. So I was so excited. So let's go ahead and get talking about the Stitch Mania stuff, shall we? So yesterday was the first day, and I did a new start out of the July 14 Cross Stitch and Needleworks magazine. And this is the one I showed you before. I think it was the last video on what I wanted to work on this month, so why not start it now? Well, I really should have gathered my stuff up before yesterday because that took an hour. Then my in-laws came, my husband came home, everybody showed up. Then there was dinner, and that's all I got. So over the weekend, I will do my Stitch Mania project, but I'm going to pull this out and work some more on it. And then I'll work on the last half of the month. But it calls for Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Gentle Art Simple Shaker. I'm converting it to DMC. It's a small little stitch. I already had to start it. I didn't have time to order anything. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. This was actually called, it actually called for Carriage Black. So the conversion was DMC 310 Black. And the word July is in the same color. I don't want it to be in black. I don't want July in black. So I got to decide what I want to put in its place. But everything else, I will stick to those colors. Unless I pull it out and I just don't like the conversion choice they have. So yeah, there's that. I'll stack it here. So today is supposed to be my Santa's Village, and I'm still on Mrs. Claus. This was supposed to be March. So obviously I'm behind. This is just how it dyed, the coffee tea. It's not it's not floss. Couldn't think of the name. It's just the color. So I will show you what it's supposed to look like. And we won't talk about it anymore. Okay? We're just going to talk about it this one time and then we're going to move on. You see the roof? Yeah. See the roof? I was talking to my husband. I mean, it's not my fault. I was talking to my husband. I was talking to my mother-in-law. And I read the number. Read the number right. Okay. Stitched it. And I kept thinking, is that right? Is that the color for Christmas? Well, probably. I mean, there's that number in there. And 3371 is in there. Okay. Yeah, it was 3328. There wasn't even a 1 in the number I was supposed to pick. There was 33. They had that in common. It was supposed to be salmon dark. I did black brown. So I'm loving it. I don't know if I do or not, but I've chosen to love it and walk away. Because if this was a May piece, if I chose to do this in May and I was all caught up, yeah, I might frog it. I'm not frogging it. It's supposed to be March. So, that's the end of that subject. We're done. We're moving on. And I'm leaving it alone. And I'm not stitching and talking to people again. Or at least picking out floss color. If it's already picked out, that's fine. Okay. Moving on. So the next day, the 3rd, tomorrow, is going to be a new start. Hey, buddy. It's going to be the Scary Night Halloween. It's not this one. It's that one with the witches on there. These are the ones I slowly collected because each one was free through Stony Creek. And I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana in fur by Fabrics by LJ. I needed one that was long enough. So I may have fabric left over. Maybe if I wanted to stitch something small because it's not very wide, but it's long. Can't wait to start that. That's going to be fun. And then the next one is a whip. It's from a magazine, and I have my, with a magazine I'd like to do a working, oh my goodness, a working chart. Because I noticed when I would just pull out the magazine, because I don't need to mark anything off. They're simple, easy. It looked like I was really wearing out the magazines, and I don't want to do that. So I just get a working copy, and I put my magazine back. So I don't have it with me. But it's classic Christmas charm. I'm sure you remember it. I was supposed to do one of these a month, but then I just chose not to anymore, because if I keep having all of these, so much fur, if I keep having these once a month things, charts, I won't be stitching anything else. So I just pick it up when I feel like it. Yep, there's that. And then I'm starting to get warm. I was really cold when I got home. My body was aching. Now I'm really warm. I will have a new start again on the 5th. Game of Thrones. They suggest a 14 count. I don't want to do a 14 count. I mean, I have 14 counts going. But I just choose to do this on a 28 count. This is a 28 count Monaco Antique. It's not showing very well, but it actually looks pretty yellow. So I may change my mind. I don't know. Only because there's some blondes in there and there's people dressed in yellow. So I'm not sure. I don't think that's going to stand out. I better figure it out. Then on the 6th is another whip. I actually have to start dinner as soon as I'm done with this. It's 5 o'clock already. I came home and I just kind of relaxed and had something to drink. Took care of my dogs. I was coughing so hard. I'm going to do a Halloween tree again, and I'm hoping for that day to actually finish the tree, and I haven't done anything since the last you saw it. And then a new start. Once Upon a Time. Same Etsy store as Game of Thrones. And I want to do this one on 28 count also. I tea dyed this. Hey, and this is the one I chose to tea dye. I chose to rumple it all up and pour tea on it and let it sit, and then I rinsed it, and it's kind of this smoky color. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it with this, if that'll work. I don't know if you're getting a good, there we go. That's pretty good. If I want to do it like this, or if I want to take and get some coffee in a pot and just get really, really hot and dip it in a couple of times. Don't cook it. Don't boil it. Just dip it in a couple of times and rinse it to lighten up the white. I don't know if it'll cause the tea to just blend in with the coffee. I don't know. And there went my stuff. So, what do you think? Should I do it that way or just leave it like this? Because once upon a time, when the title comes on, it's always in the forest, and it's kind of got that smoky look. But I don't know. This isn't all smoky color. It's white. I don't know. I'm a terrible judge of fabric. Terrible. For years, all I did was 14 count white. So once, and then the next one is a whip. That fell on the floor. There it is. Again, this came out of a magazine. I think it was just cross stitch. And it was the spring. Blooming flower. And you can see far away how far it's coming. So I've already got the leaf, the stem, and part of one petal, another one coming up, and one going here. This is a great one to pick up for a day or so, stitch a couple words, and then put it down. A lot of times when I have like a spot for 3 or 4 days in a rotation, I'll put that on there. It's just really easy just to stitch it for a little bit. It's already spring. I think we're not quite halfway done with spring, so I got time for next spring. And then blooming flower. Oh, a new start. You need to remember, whoops, I just finished the winter house from the Four Seasons by Dimensions, and I'm going, what am I doing? Fall. I'm going to be doing fall. The pattern, kind of like a pamphlet looking thing, book. It's not really a book. It's only got so many pages. It fell apart. It's years and years old. It's got stains. It's pitiful. I can't find the cover. If you've watched me previous, you know what it looks like. Or at least the spring and the, especially the winter. But I need to find it so I can show you a closer up of fall. And it's got the pumpkins and all that. But I'm doing it on 14 count white. I thought maybe I could just do it on something else, but I'm afraid that I may change my mind and put all 4 seasons of this one up instead of just putting one out for the season. I don't know. So I want to have whatever option I choose. So I'm just sticking with 14 count white. Let's see. Another, like everything fell. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, I gotta move it. There we go. There it is. I was wondering what fell behind there. This is the free pattern, The Way to Happiness. I had already finished the first part. I was on to the second part and it got put away. I did the lady, and I'm hoping in one day to at least get the words. And this is the last time you saw it. I better hurry up because my coughing is starting. So, yeah. This will go in my bedroom. I'm kind of picking out different colors. Sometimes it's the same color. Sometimes I change the color. The Way to Happiness I changed in the picket fence, the gate I changed. And then a new start. I'd already done Katie Kitty. And I'm going to be doing Peter Polar Bear. And I'll be doing on the 14 count blue. I just get at a craft store. What is that? Oh. Peter Polar Bear, that's on the 11th. So on the 12th is a whip. I'll work on Forest Snowfall. And it has not changed since the last time you saw it. The house is done. And I want to work on the snow on the bottom, because it doesn't look like the house is done when it is. It's just snow piled up to the house. So I'll work on that part. I think hashtag PC for Snowfall is still going. I hope so. I really need to update a picture to show that I'm still doing it. That not everybody is done. So on the 13th I had a new start, and I was going to do NA for Screw, and then as I was looking at the pattern after I wrote it down, I realized that it was suggested to do it on a 32 count. Well, we can do it on whatever we want. But I got looking at it and I decided, really? I've been wanting to do a 32 count and I haven't done it. Remember, I started at 14 count and then going up to 18 count was like, wowzer. It was a big deal. Doing 28 count was like this huge leap. So, I'm taking baby steps and I'm ready to do a 32 count. So I really wanted to do a 32 count on that one. Well, I have a piece of fabric that's 32 count mushroom, or I can't remember what it is, off-white, which is fine. No, it wasn't mushroom because it was a lighter color. But anyhow, it was tall enough, the height. This thing is wide. It is wide. I don't have a piece of fabric that's going to cover that. So instead of being frantic and think, oh, I need to order a piece of fabric, it's going to fit that, I bagged it because the next piece of fabric I want to buy, I'm still waiting for 123 Stitch to come in to tell me it came in so I can buy it, and it's for the full coverage piece, Disney Heroes. And so I'm just waiting patiently. And I'm tossing up what color I want to use anyway. So I bagged that and I decided to do something else. So a lady I used to work with, I think I told you about this. I may even showed you some of the stash that she gave me. She showed up during lunch and she had this bag of stuff and she said, or a box of stuff. She's like, Fran, I know you're a cross stitcher. I just can't do it anymore. I'd like to give you this stuff and you can do what you want with it. And she said there's a couple of things that was already started. I never finished it. And you can bag it if you want. And you can start it new. Whatever you want to do. I'm not going to throw it away. So this one is a kit. And she even said there's one that's a kit. And it doesn't say what kind of floss that they used. But she said you could probably put it together and do DMC. Well, no, I'm just going to finish it. She's even got her needle. So I want to finish this and put it in my craft room. I actually want to frame it. And I have the joy and honor of, taking this apart. It's like deciphering a code. What color is what, and finding it all in this wad. But here it is. It's 14 count. It's kind of like an off-white. She did an amazing job. I can get close enough. But her stitches lay really nice. So basically the only thing that's left is just the ribbon going around and more hearts on this side. So pretty excited about starting it. Oh, I think there's flowers up here. And up here I have to do. But I'm really excited about finishing it and hanging it in my craft room. So even though it's not a new start, since it's already been started, it's a new start to me. That's good enough. So a weekend's going to show up before I get to this, and so my plan is to try and take all that floss and organize it. And then the next one is a whip. It's going to be the Happily Ever After, and I will be working on Robin Hood. So, I haven't touched it. Did I get it high enough? I can't see what I'm doing. I'm sure there's other people filming today doing Stitch Mania videos, right? I'm so excited because there's some people that do Stitch Mania vlogs. And I love the vlogs. I don't know about you, but I love them. They are so much fun to watch. And then the last one on the 15th is a new start, and it will be Spring Fairy by, Joan Elliott. You know, I got this kit quite some time ago. It's got 14 count in here. I will take it out. I'll probably use it for the summer house because it's probably big enough. But let me show you. This is the fabric I have. It's a piece of fabric from Fabrics by LJ. And this is the color. It's pretty dark, okay? This is the floss. I think all of them will stand out on this, no problem. There's only one that I'm nervous about, and it's that one. So I think that is maybe in her shirt. So it may be okay. Or maybe it's in her dress. It could be in her dress. And if that's the case, it's going to be perfectly fine because it's going to be surrounded by the reds. But this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Do you think that background would look okay? Will it look like it's nighttime? Because it's Spring Fairy, and one of the things you look forward to in the spring is the light, right? The flowers, the warming of your, you know, your area. If you live in an area that warms up, some areas don't. Some people still get snow. But yeah, when you envision spring, you don't envision dark. So you think that's going to work? I have until the 15th. Give me your opinion. What do you think? Or should I try and go ahead and purchase a piece of fabric. Just get it over with and buy a piece of fabric and do like something like a light pink. But whatever I decide, I'm going to have to decide in a couple of days, because if I'm going to order something, I need to just do it so I can get it here by the 15th. So that is my plan. I'm terrible at making a decision. I never trust myself. I never trust myself when it comes to fabric. I don't know why. But yeah, this is it. This is going to be the first 15 days, and then the last 16, will just be, like I said, stitching on my once a month stuff, see where I'm at on that, and anything else in between. So I hope all of you have a great stitchy 14 days, 2 weeks, and I hope you get the time to get plenty of work in on our stitching. It's been great seeing everybody's plans, and I'm looking forward to watching Flosstube and seeing everybody's progress, and seeing everybody's posts on Stitch Mania and Instagram. So I will talk to all of you in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping to get on here 16, 17, somewhere shortly after my Stitch Mania ends, and show you how far I've come on everything. So I will talk to all of you later. I'm going to get off of here and make another cup of tea for my throat and start stitching, on that, and try not to look at the roof. So we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.